Now, moving on to the types of deficit in the budget. Revenue deficit. The excess of disbursements over receipts on revenue account is called revenue deficit. When revenue disbursement exceeds receipts, the government would have to borrow. Such borrowing is considered regressive as it is for consumption and not for creating assets. Fiscal deficit. When the government's non-borrowed receipts fall short of its entire expenditure, it has to borrow money from the public to meet the shortfall. The excess of total expenditure over total non-borrowed receipt is called fiscal deficit. Primary deficit. The revenue expenditure includes interest payments on government earlier borrowings. The primary deficit is the fiscal deficit less interest payments. A shrinking primary deficit indicates progress towards fiscal health as we are not carrying the weight of old debt. The budget document also mentions deficit as a percentage of GDP. This is to facilitate comparison and also get a proper perspective. Now, it's time to know some interesting facts about the Union budget. Firstly, the word budget has been derived from the French word baguette, which means small bag. First Union budget of colonial India was introduced on 7th of April 1860 by the East India Company to the British Crown. It was presented by a Scottish economist and politician James Wilson. First Union budget of independent India was introduced on 26th of November 1947. It was presented by the first Finance Minister R.K. Shanukham Chetty. For the financial year 1973-74, the budget is called as Black Budget due to a high budget deficit of Rs 550 crore, the maximum until that time. The budget followed the Indo-Pak War of 1971 and failed during the monsoon season. Former Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru introduced the gift tax in the financial year 1958-59 budget to make tax evasion more difficult. For the first time in independent India's history, the budget of financial year 2021-22 is paperless. On 28th of February 2006, Goods and Service Tax was introduced by the then Finance Minister P. Chidambaram in the budget. On 5th of July 2019, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman became the second woman to have presented the budget after former PM Indira Gandhi. She is the first full-time women finance minister of India. Since 1955-56, the budget documents are printed both in Hindi and English.
Thank you for the insights. I have understood the concepts and terminologies of the budget.
That's great. Now we will discuss the upcoming budget 2022-23 in our next video. Till then, stay tuned.